whatever you're doing. Wonderful. Like to call Main Street Advisory Board meeting to order at 9 a.m. on August 9th. Thank you everybody for coming. I anticipate Betsy here any moment, and thank you Rhonda for coming. If we could stand and say pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Offer a prayer for us.
God, thank you for this beautiful day and for us gathering here. Thank you for all of the blessings you've bestowed upon us as individuals and upon our amazing community. God, continue to bless the volunteers and please send rain. Amen.
Amen. Cute hair. Okay, just a moment. Be a girl, sorry.
Very cute. Put that in a...
Yes, exactly. Roll call, new haircut. Everybody say your name for the record.
Betsy Wellhausen, Janice Easter,
Leah Zaccanino. And our guest? Wonderful. And Madeline Patton and Forrest Williams are present as well. Do we have any public comments? I don't believe we have anything.
Do I share screen with this?
No, on the in our consent agenda.
You want to see?
Unfortunately, we don't actually have any minutes.
No, we do not.
Okay, we'll push that to our October meeting. And we'll roll right into our friends update. I think Janice and I can tag team here, cover the few things that are still upcoming. What do you have, and then I'll see what I have.
The last concert is Saturday, Brown Sugar Band. They are going to be featured in the newspaper. Roy is doing a specific promotion just for the concert with Brown Sugar.
Tomorrow?
For the newspaper
Yes.
this week.
Okay, good.
So I asked him for it to be put on the front page. Unless there's a car accident, we'll see. So anyway, that, and then for the table decorating dinner, small talk with another mutual friend. There's a gal that used to live in Caldwell and school with who now lives in Burleson, and she teaches at a private Christian school. And this is a giant fundraiser for them. They do the same type of event. They would make $100,000 every year. So that's our goal. That's our goal. No, so not this year. So she sent me some specifics, and it's basically everything that we have discussed. They charge $40 per table for a seat, and we were going to charge $50. But she said they have a huge selection of silent auction items, and then they have some big ticket items. But again, keep in mind, Burleson is right outside Fort Worth. We don't have the same. So she just said, she suggested that we start small with just the tables, the meal. We already have the wine from the thing, so we don't have to purchase that.
And the glasses.
And the glasses. And I just think a great caterer, and then the whole experience itself for our first year will be enough. This mutual friend I was talking about, she would love to do a table. But my friend Karen in Burleson, she said that it started small, but she said it's really kind of a contest between the people that participate. And she said they have had table escapes that literally go to the ceiling.
Well, that was my concern about eating.
But she said that you don't worry about, that's not what you worry about. You're not there to visit with your friends. You're really there to be a part of the experience and see that. So she also said that one of the coolest ones was someone made a dollhouse and did this dollhouse on the table. That was part of their thing. And then they donated it for like the main auction.
Yeah.
And they said some people will do that. They'll put something elaborate on the table, and then they'll donate it to the auction to sell.
They take their dishes home, but they
take their dishes home, yes. But she said at their event, that it is a free-for-all theme, that it is not a specific season. It's just, you come decorate your table. But I just thought, for the first year, since we're going to try to do this late November, that we would stick with the either or, the fall or the Christmas, because your perfect suggestion is not everybody has specific things for holidays and other holidays other than Thanksgiving or
What
Christmas.
are we gonna call this?
Friendsgiving.
Okay, I don't think that describes what this is. To me, that sounds like a dinner.
That's more of a dinner than the table decoration thing.
I think maybe something more like tablescape holiday extravaganza or something, you know.
Something a little more elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
kind
Something a
of,
little more descriptive maybe of
yeah, you know, but I would like us to come up with a name pretty soon so we can start getting, you know,
Sure,
maybe get Madeline to do a flyer
Yeah.
of what it's about, because
and
it's
we
a
need,
little complicated for somebody to just go explain to somebody.
and two, I think no more than 25 tables, because that's going to be. Is that about right, Madeline, for the size of the civic center? Would that be 25 tables? How much?
We got 30 something when we had
If you
Colonel
take-
West come.
Law enforcement,
And you
we
can-
have 40, and it's way
Still-
too packed to, because you want people to move
Right.
around and see
Right.
the table.
And I just think we'll start, our goal
I think
should be
25 would be-
25, and then again with field the interest in it and go from there. But I've already got like 6 people, individuals that said, I would love to do a table.
Are we charging them?
No,
Okay, so
no. I just think that either that person that decorates that table, their sole purpose is decorating the table and being responsible for getting their 8 tickets sold, or opening those 8 seats up to the public to buy.
but they
So-
don't get their seat for free.
No,
I don't think so either.
No,
I'm just asking general questions.
no, no. Every person must have a ticket to enter.
I used to go to one of them that was, people go crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. you could do
So,
that.
Really.
in like 2007, someone got this idea, and it started as a project graduation event. And so Project Graduation has been doing this event for years. And like you say, it started off with paper tablecloths to some parents spending $500 on just these beautiful tablescapes for their
bragging
seniors.
rights. Yeah. Oh, for
The seniors, but it's strictly a senior thing. Like seniors invite their family and friends, you know. So anyway, I just think because Caldwell has somewhat done this for the senior thing, I think, and as a matter of fact, for the senior thing, like in 2008, the SBJST hall was full. It was like the event of the season. Oh, so invited me to go sit at their table, you know. So I just think it's something new and fun, because Project Graduation has not done this in a while.
Well,
so
it's not going to cost us anything.
right, it's
No,
not really.
it's a
It's
great
only
idea.
costing Main Street
Yeah.
the meal. Everything else, meal and
Yeah, and the
publicity.
ticket price should cover the cost of the meal, so.
Yes,
No,
For sure.
I mean, I think it's a great idea.
a different meal.
Well, I think we need to go back to our Italian thing, because then we're not trying to single out any restaurant in town.
Right.
Which I'm not trying to be contrary, but
Right.
I just think
Yeah.
that's the one thing we don't have here.
Right.
Right.
And so let's offer something. And Italian is more wine. I mean, it just kind of lends itself, because Brian brought us his gigantic steaks are not dainty.
Well, everything is either steak or burger.
Or
Or
fifty.
Or fajitas.
Right.
And we definitely don't want
If
to
we do something
buffet.
different, I think that's also attractive to people who go, oh,
Right.
something
Yeah.
different.
Well, and Italian's a little more elegant.
Yeah, you
And
can
this
make
is
it.
gonna be kind of an elegant evening, so, you know.
Well, Betsy, you're
And I'm open if somebody else wants to take the reins, but if not, I'm happy to do it. I just need, you know me, I need real specifics. Don't give me generalities here.
well, maybe y'all can
What's
come
the
up
name?
with
What
a
do we
list.
do? What are we charging?
But I definitely think that we need to start creating,
Yeah, I do too.
because we're going to be behind next week. As soon as school starts,
Right,
people are
right.
fall focused.
Right.
And I would like some kind of flyer that explains it, and maybe
Yeah.
has pictures, because I think if somebody's not familiar with Project Graduation or this from somewhere else,
I think you're
it's
definitely
gonna be
gonna have to-
difficult to explain.
I think that whatever we name it has to be descriptive
Right.
of what it
Can
is.
you
Also.
do some searching?
I can. And I was also going to say, come down. I'm going to be at the Civic Center next few weeks, like I said, and book the place because I don't know what's going to come up. So
Yeah.
I have it a sticky note in the calendar to be like, save this date, but come down and book with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
ASAP.
I think we're 17th, 18th, 19th
I think so.
of November.
Yeah, that's what we've got, 17, 18, 19.
Well, I think we need, after school starts, Janice, because everybody will be a little bit, will be over this next hump for town. We need to have a friends meeting and put some people on a committee. I think Kim's interested in helping. We've got lots of people that are not on the board that have expressed interest in this, and so it's the perfect way to get a new group
And
involved.
we should put limited number of tables.
Yeah.
Yes.
Available.
Yeah. Maybe you could talk to Madeline and y'all could come up with
Maybe
some
your
framework.
friend could send you what they use and how, like, how they
She is.
describe it.
Yes, she sent me kind of just the general facts of it, but, she is, what he said,
Yeah, she could give us an idea of how to advertise it.
Yeah.
she also said that they use a platform called Greater Giving. And she said all tickets, everything is run through that, and then like the bidding on silent auction items and all of that. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I think we just want to do the dinner first this year.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I think we need to get people interested, then we have time next year to find the items.
right,
You know, it kind of goes to the law enforcement thing. We had too many items and not enough advertisement of it. We need to make sure we get the logistics of
Maybe in
this.
some of our advertisements for it, we could find photos from those kinds of events.
there's also Pinterest has 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
To
Table,
put like,
tables, tape.
so people could
Sure.
see like, oh, that's gonna
Yeah.
be very cool. Because I don't think most people are gonna think in terms of something big and grand. They're gonna think
They're gonna think a dinner
because we've
table.
not done it,
Right.
So they're not gonna really get
Even the
but they
one
see
in
those pictures.
Bryan, they're not gonna start showing the tables until the week of the event, so we've missed the.
Right.
Even if somebody knows, they don't
Yeah.
necessarily know, but there are plenty of brains in this. There are plenty of women, probably, unless Alan wants to do one, because he'd do an extraordinary one.
So another thing that she suggested that I thought was a whole lot of fun, she said when, say your silent auction time ends and you've got all of your bids in and whatever, and so people are coming to pick up their silent auction items. She says they do a small after party. They've had things such as a taco bar, a dessert bar, and milk and cookies bar for people to while they're checking out, because apparently this thing is huge. So I just thought that was kind of a
Right,
cute
yeah,
afterthought to do.
Well, I've been
While
to
you're checking out,
when I
grab
was
some-
in women's club, not junior league in Fort Worth, we did one, but it's been 30 years since I lived in Fort Worth, so I don't remember the stuff. But I think we've got our arms around the concept
The one I went to, I just bought a ticket with like friends.
to
all
go
bought a table,
or
like,
to sit.
just to eat.
Yeah.
And if I enjoy.
Sure.
But a friend of ours always did the table, so we bought the tickets at her table.
Well, that's great. I think we should.
Really have fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of golfing and.
Yeah, and there's competition at these, which is what we're after.
Yeah.
And I do, like I was saying, I think we'll bring out some people that don't participate in Main Street. They haven't found their spot to be involved, that are more creative, you know.
Right.
And that's gonna appeal to them.
Sounds fun.
Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to murals.
Murals, yes, disappointment, but I think what's happened is since we still don't have a design in place,
Everybody doesn't know, so update everybody.
Okay. We're working with this muralist that does the photographs, who makes the photographs. And the last design she sent was much closer, but it still wasn't quite what we want. And all along, we've been talking about, she was, committed to the middle of August, having it done before Co-Watch Festival. Well, I don't know if she's gotten aggravated that we haven't gotten the design, didn't sign off on the last design or what, but now she's saying it won't be done for College Festival, but she's got other commitments. And she's talking.
Did she say she could not do it, or I thought I read that maybe, I had an idea.
Right.
Could she come during the week of collage?
She did mention that.
Because if we could pull it off logistically, it'd be really cool to have her putting the final touches
Yeah.
during collage when all those people are there. If it weren't day one where it was just white or something, it was kind of not impressive.
Right. She's in New Valley right now, working on a project there. She said after that, I have a few other projects, and due to the complexity and high detail content of where your design is going with your mural, I'm not sure it's feasible to complete it for the festival. We could start it a few days before the festival, and I could still be painting it during the event. But it would be best to do it later in September.
I think it'd be cool to have it being painted during the event. If we're not gonna finish it, I don't wanna miss the whole year. But how are we gonna, you have more recent experience with this, how's it gonna be with blocking that road so that we've got a scissor lift?
You just block off the area.
Yeah,
And
the
I don't
parking
think last year,
lane.
I don't think she had any vendors down that way because.
I think there was a big flag, there was a bunch of flags for sale right outside that building, I remember.
But then Aggie Moms, they do the fun run, that's all in the E&T parking lot there. And so that would be the only, and then the people walking to and from the bus stop from the Kreitzer House. But again, if you put safety cones out, I honestly don't think it's any kind of issue.
Well, and we make it part of the thing, because I was gonna talk to Susan at Rotary. I thought we could mention it to her and see what
about the scissors?
I think we're gonna have to rent it.
The district has one. I'll see if the district can't let us use it for a week.
Yes, that's fine. Even if we have to rent it, if we could have it.
How large are they? I mean,
The scissor lift is no longer the length of that table.
Yeah, they're usually a person and supplies kind of size. But we need to, if this plan works, we need to see if Jessica will let us have the Airbnb during collage.
Oh, yeah.
Because she could have it rented. That's where she was gonna let us put a knot in there. And so we need to see if we've lost that because I can see them renting that easily.
Right.
So if we could chase that down, I think we could figure.
Kaylee.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kaylee's, yeah. I make it all one thing, but yeah. That was my only thought, was it would be something Main Street could have a specific moment in collage, which would be nice without having to pour something else out.
If Kaylee's is already booked, doesn't Melinda rent out the bar for the garage there in her office?
Oh, I think she does, yeah.
Yeah, we can
That's
ask.
a good idea.
Yeah, in that back, they've got that pretty one. Yeah. Kaylee was probably doing us a better deal, but we could see, we could certainly, I think we're down to what works.
Yeah.
It might be just if she gets it booked.
Yeah.
Because they're trying more commercially than Melinda, she saves up, but that's a great idea. Okay.
So as far as the contract goes, I think the reason why she hasn't vision is because we haven't finished signing the contract with.
Because we have to agree on the design before the contract is finished, yes.
So, I guess when y'all get a design, just let me know, and then I'll get keys added in there so that we can see those.
I do think it's important that we, even if we miss collage, which I don't want to do, that we get the design we want, though.
I agree.
It's a lot of money.
It's gonna be there forever.
It's gonna be the most visible. It's gonna determine what we do going forward. So I think we need to get it right and make sure we're all in agreement on it. And if we can get it during collage at least started, and piqued people's interest.
That's all. Even if she's on date, I want something to look like it's turning into a mural.
Right.
I don't care what day of the project in my head it is. It's just, look at us doing this.
Whatever we use to block it off.
Yeah.
Maybe we could.
Yeah,
like a big
mural project.
And print what it's gonna.
We can do a rendering.
Yeah.
Because that will have basically.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you, even if it's
We
not
could
far
post that,
along for
yeah.
them
That's
to
a great
really
idea.
see it, they could see what's happening.
Oh, I love that, because we
Yeah.
could certainly have a design, and worst case scenario is, we put the design up there, future home
Right.
of this mural,
Right.
and at least we've still
Exactly.
done something.
Yes.
And not lost the moment.
And put on there, City of Caldwell and Main Street,
Oh, that's a great idea, because I think
Yeah.
there's no reason not to do that. We need to get on the sign for this. I still find this one lacking any kind of connection, if you're new and you're just driving through and you drive by it, you're like, oh, that's interesting. There's there's nothing else there explaining it. So I think the design committee's got a whole lot of stuff. Betsy,
Do I?
the design committee's got a whole lot of stuff going on. All right, I need to bring something out of order, because Janice has got to scoot. I would like to have us participate in Breast Belly Gives again. If y'all are okay, we need a motion to donate we've got to pay the $150 to get in the
I
rolls.
make a motion that we participate.
Thanks. I had her sign a blank check in anticipation, but it
Right.
it doesn't say Breast Belly Gives. But I've got a meeting today, and we get extra credit somehow if we sign up before tomorrow.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, okay, this is perfect timing. Okay, back to our agenda, which I don't see the rest of it, but could you update us on the hot funds? Because I wanted to write down how much money we're actually gonna get. Thank y'all for handling all that.
So, the council last week, had the workshop meeting, and we presented the hot funds that requested. So they went ahead and approved those requests. So for the first request, that was $28,000 in the concert series. They decided to reimburse y'all for 50%. So that would be the videographer, the signage, liability insurance, the newspaper, and radio advertising. And so that equated to about $14,000. The next one was the request for the second mural, and that was $5,000, and they granted the $5,000 full amount. So a total of $19,000 will be reimbursed.
And when is that payable? After your fiscal year?
So it'll be payable
because y'all haven't voted on it yet, right? That was the workshop
The
action.
contract will go forward to them on August 16th, and then from that point, we'll need the posted reports, and then before September 15th.
Okay, so perfect. Thank you. I put everything in the kitchen sink in that request, so I think 14,000 reimbursement, whereas we got nothing last year, is phenomenal. We have $24,000 in the bank currently. We're gonna owe another about 2,500, maybe maximum 3,000 to get out of all the concert obligation. We gotta pay Addie's, the porta potties, the radio ads, and the second portion on the deposit. So with 14,000 coming back, we've got a nice little nest egg for our other projects that we're working on, and I'm delighted. So, Janice was the mayor at the meeting, so we appreciate y'all's support, and Betsy was the Main Street representative to back us up.
Interesting numbers.
Somebody threw a number out, and then I would say, so that's what you want? And then somebody would say, well, I could go for more. Seriously, that took forever.
I know.
It took forever, but finally I would say, is that your final answer? And then we raised it a little bit more. So just the prodding, we just kept going up. So I personally too felt 50% was a fair amount. So 28,000.
Well, I think our commitment is to do it, and any help that we get back gives us, multiplies the benefits of all those donors, the amounts that everybody's put in. So I would like to maybe do something with Roy to say, or is that just better left unsaid?
So in that contract, it specifies that any kind of promotion or anything like that that you do for the event, like it's wise to include that it was sponsored by City of Caldwell Hot Funds. In the contract going forward, the council wants to make sure that the city's, in any of these events that are done, the city is a sponsor of the event. So, that's something that.
We've put the logos on for the Hot Funds request.
Yeah.
We've done some chamber things because that also gives us credit with the state rules about, we're trying to get people to stay in hotels and Airbnbs, and which is obviously the driving force of it. So we can go and double check it. I was thinking about literally asking Roy to write a success of the summer concert series year 2. And in fact, we've had a multiplier by having the city come in with outside funds, because those are not tax, dollars out of the main budget. And now we're gonna move forward. The problem is, we probably need to say what we wanna spend it on, and we're not quite ready to do that. But I was just thinking, I think it's really important to continue to tell people that they're giving money for something and we're doing something with it.
Yeah.
But maybe because that event, if the next event isn't a project, we need to go towards our projects, our, what we're building next, or what we're, doing, constructing next. So just food for thought down the road. I think it'd be good, because if we could tell people that we've done it and have the success with getting that extra money. So with that, do y'all want to, do y'all have anything else that you wanted to do today?
Oh, I'm just gonna say, so because I'm over so many different things, I am gonna push everything for Main Street more towards Madeline, so that way, like the hot funds request, I couldn't really speak on much of it from a Main Street perspective because I was presenting it as finance perspective. So I want to make sure that, if y'all have stuff that's specific for Main Street, go to Madeline. If it's other stuff, they come to me, because I don't want it to be a conflict of interest situation. So
Yeah, you don't want to have stuff.
yeah.
Some folks do. For the concert, have you been in touch with Alyssa? Alyssa's had a world of trouble getting her liquor permit, a just astronomical amount of difficulty. I am hopeful today she tells me that it is done. Melissa from here walked a letter over that she did need, but she was having a lot of trouble with TABC. So I do think it's not all gonna work, but it was a mystery to me.
Do you have any food trucks?
I confirmed Albert. Have you talked to Sue?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, go back and
Okay.
find out, because I talked to Glenn with the electrical, and I'll circle back with all the right people about making sure the plugs work. And the ice cream guy's coming for your conversation. And I confirmed, I will go back, since Kim is in Houston today, I'll go back and make sure that the trailer's coming and see if one will deliver, because I think that's their only, I think they'll out for doing both sides of that. And then, that said that they'll help with the drinks. Do you have Hornet stuff that you want to set at our table?
No, Meet the Hornets is that night, and the Booster Club is doing their own thing on the courthouse side, facing, what else can I say? Facing the antique store.
Okay. But not down as far
But
as
I know
that
where
other
you're
one.
I know.
I can go back to Manuals. I can't go back to
Facing
Zip Up.
manuals and doors and zip talks and big pants, anyway, but they are responsible for
they're doing their thing.
own event.
Okay.
So their own sound system, their own MC, their own event.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's super. And they're starting at 7, so hopefully they'll end in time, as was our request, and not at 6:20 this year.
No, they're starting it at 7. So anyway, I'm texting Rodney to see if they'll be open, because she said they were very, very busy selling drinks, just alcohol.
Because they're still not ready to roll.
No, but they can open for
They
just
can do that.
alcohol.
Okay. then Kristen, put out on Facebook that OPO's open Saturday. And Lissa, obviously, and so you need to talk to her and see if you're still being drafted. If you're not drafted, we need help. At Main Street now sells water and sodas.
Okay.
At a table, and Kat and Tyler are coming to do it. Juan and Sheena have done it as well, but we need some more.
And then can you hit, you may already be doing it, social media, like every third hour promoting?
Yeah. A lot
just
of
to the end, it's
the
like,
stuff about the countdown was good. I liked the stuff that I saw last week, but I agree.
yeah.
And then after the concert,
I'll forward you a picture of the band and we can, or do you have a picture of the band?
I took one off their website.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where this one is from. Okay, just keep promoting those folks.
we need to pick up stuff on Sunday. We've got, I'll have to get with the city, I guess, to get the big banners out. We'll get the banner down. But we've got sandwich boards spread out. I just spent on Sunday, I could use some help getting the rest of it in, whenever it's convenient. Sunday, Monday, just there's sandwich boards spread around town, and I was starting to make a list of the things. No problem, thanks.
Are we good on drinks? They're low on some things last week. Was that just because we couldn't get
I
any?
think
that's
we want to
what we
just
could-
sell out too.
Pardon?
We want to just.
I
sell
agree.
out.
Yeah, we need to get out of
Yeah.
this business too. But,
They're all down at the Civic Center.
okay, so they all got moved. Okay, perfect.
So you can
I'll
just-
stick my head in today, at Rotary, because it's in there, and look and see what we've got, so we have a better idea of what we're working with.
Okay, it's 7:30, so okay, or do you want us earlier?
I don't know. Yeah, 7:30 is great. And I'll talk to Gary, about the setup and, getting everything moved over there. But we've got this down, and it's almost supposed to be 98.
I know.
I was like, holy cow, that's 10
I know.
degrees cooler.
I know.
I talked to Keith Schrader yesterday, they're mowing, and I talked to him about providing a water hose from the courthouse. Gary wants to connect that fan with water, the Bluebonnet fan, so he's got a plan, and Judge Schrader said we could use it, and I'm gonna text him, that's what I'll remind him, and then, bring up that sign and we'll do it again. Is Mike here this weekend?
Yeah.
Johnny's here this weekend,
Right.
so we can have, more of our slave labor,
Yes.
and, super.
Before Collage Fest, is there anything that y'all want to see happen in downtown before people come in?
It's time to get it power washed again. Once a year, you said,
Yes, I can't do it right now, but we can do it.
before.
I don't know. I mean, we can't do all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do the higher traffic area, but.
Well, and down her street, all the way down to Dicky Doos. Last year, when we did something, it was gross out there. We need to add a little bit, but maybe we could cherry pick the streets that look like they need the most attention and get those washed. I think that's from Main Street perspective. I think it's the
Do
least
all
we
the
can do.
planner offices have plans in them? Okay, I think we need to, even if it's just one rose bush or one plant or something, I think we need to put
Waters?
something. Good question.
Daryl is watering them, but how often?
3 times
I mean, lantana would be great right now, it's cheap,
And it
it handles the heat, it flowers, it
I
drains.
don't do it till right before.
I agree, but I think it needs to be done, and I'll be happy to.
And with as hot as it is, like I'm watering everything that I have if it's not in the ground. I
Right.
water twice a day.
Yeah.
To keep it alive. If it's in the sun.
Yeah.
So
If we could
it's
add
just too
something,
hot for
yeah.
3 times a week.
But I think that will do more than anything.
Yeah, it
to
just look
improve
nice,
the
yeah.
look of downtown, so.
She thinks over the trash. And eating it.
That's
Okay.
That's a talent you haven't seen.
She just
She's so
smiles.
calm about it. She wants what's in there, but she's not willing to put in her sandwich. Anybody have anything else? Madeline? This is the quickest meeting in the history of meetings. Next month, I think we need to present to the big committee evening the whole layout for the design thing and get people, because that'll be the perfect time to do it. Everybody will be back in the mood, everybody will be ready to sign up, so we need to have a plan. For that, and
let's all next month at the big open meeting try to bring somebody that's not on Friends that just wants to learn more about it. If we could just get some more people in. So.
Do y'all want me to do like a social media? Interested in joining Main Street? Come to the thing, because I do the every month.
Yeah.
This is when our meeting is.
Learning more about.
But I can do some kind of informational things of
what's
Main Street.
A list of the things that we're doing, so that if you want to know more about even downtown renovations.
Right.
That's it. It doesn't say we're doing them in October.
Right.
This meeting, I think, is more to conduct business, and that meeting is to really let people have an opportunity to talk and hear what the plan is.
And maybe even a what is Main Street, because.
And do it again.
You can clarify with people. Most people that I talk to don't know there's the Main Street Advisory Board and Friends of
And
Main
Friends.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in October, when are we doing a slate of officers?
That'll be
December?
October or December. I mean, do nominations in October and December.
Okay. All right. We'll be switching
The only
gears.
reason I remember that was because we did it at Christmas, we had a Christmas party and we voted.
Oh. You know where that happened.
Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, and keep the glass.
Accurate.
Exactly. I'm not leaving, but I'm not going to be chair again, obviously. So
obviously.
Obviously.
Can we ask for hot dogs for Leah the keeper?
That's right.
How much are they?
I appreciate the support, but there is plenty of me splashed over this county right now. We definitely need some other faces on all of the publications. Anything else? Madeline?
The next steps for the design plan are going to be kind of identifying some key things that y'all want to do, right? And then moving those onto kind of a charrette style, kind of like we did at Collage a while back, like I guess last year. Having the public come in and see what the options are, vote on them, and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
I definitely.
I'm pulling together that list. We did something similar at council, I guess 2 months ago. So I'm pulling together that list.
I think that's a perfect activity if we define it for the community meeting.
Right.
And then we can synthesize the input at a board meeting, if that's the appropriate way to do that.
What's the timeline on something like that? Could we put those up in our board meeting in the Civic Center for our dinner?
Ooh, maybe by November we'd have something. Yeah.
Because
yeah, that'll be a new set of eyes.
And it might, between the dinner and that might get more people also.
Any event that's happening at the Civic Center, if we just leave it up and say, put your input here, and then that way you get all these different meetings and things that
get access to them. That's a good idea. Do we want are we satisfied from the summer concert series? Do we need to pay for an ad? I'm going to get there. Pay for an ad in the paper, the local paper, thanking our sponsors, or are we sufficiently thanking our sponsors?
I don't think you can overthank sponsors personally.
I think
I don't know how much the ad is, but
and people like not just the donor. People like to see.
I think it would be a good way to do that.
Kind of like we had at the spring thing, that thing I made with the list. I could just do like the list style, and you could give that to them as the ad.
And it
If I can make it
also,
I
small
think
enough.
we should do
as
that.
many stories as Lori does for us,
Yeah.
one time you can buy
That we
it.
buy. And all the other groups do it.
Yeah.
We just did it for law enforcement. I keep seeing it in the paper, and not everybody's reading the paper, but
Right.
the people that are writing the checks are probably comprising a large portion of the people that are reading the paper.
Right.
And I just think as this becomes institutionalized, we need to make sure that we are thanking people so they don't fall off, because it just,
Well, you don't want anybody to say, well, I donated, but I hardly got any exposure.
Yeah.
You know.
well,
And
it's funny.
future sponsors will appreciate,
Right.
like, that's how that I'll get treated in my sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kai, you haven't seen that note yet?
I looked at it briefly on my way in today.
She sent me something early, and I don't think she realizes she never sent us the right logo. Kai sent me a note last night and said, I saw the Facebook thank you, which is great, because she's been running them. But she said, it just basically has my name, and I'm like, because you didn't send me whatever you wanted, and she wanted it replaced with something, and I said, of course, we're not reprinting the banner, but we're happy to update
On
the
Facebook.
stuff on Facebook.
I can update it on Facebook. I can't update it on Instagram, but there's a bigger audience on Facebook anyway.
Well, and Facebook's where she saw it,
Okay.
and so, but people are seeing that,
Right.
and I do think people like it.
I do too.
And it shows, like y'all, it shows your customers that y'all are participating, because y'all do a lot of stuff, you know. And so I don't think there's any harm.
I think it's good.
Okay, I'll find out how much it costs, because before I should. It doesn't need to be a page, of course.
Yeah. It could be
I'll
like
find
a
out.
bottom third or something like that to fit everyone. There's quite a few.
I think that's good. For all of them.
Thank you. Anything else?
I have a question for y'all. In October, on October 8th, we're doing Alzheimer's Walk.
Yes.
So I don't know if y'all are walking, or you know, get a team together and walk. But I'll have she's supposed to be. She didn't come last week.
Oh, she did.
She's supposed to be bringing me some stuff, but October 8th, and it'll be in the late afternoon.
Where will it be?
It's gonna start in front of the shop,
Oh, okay.
and then I just need to double check with Did I talk to you before that? We're not gonna close the street, so we don't need to.
Yeah, he said we didn't need a permit if we didn't.
But if we need a permit, I'm happy to do it. We're not gonna, the only place that will not really close the street, but will sort of spill out into the street is at the start. Where everybody will like, no, not a lot of traffic comes down Nickel Street. But that's the only time where everybody's gonna be gathered in one place at one time. Do you want me to like, just to tell people, I mean, you like to think you don't have to tell people to stand inside?
Yeah.
But like, do you want me to like print that on something, or just tell them, make sure we're not closing the street, staying inside, or is that good enough?
I would, just so you're, so that you know, like, you know that you've said it.
You'd like to think that.
And then
Everybody would stay on the street.
I was recommended by some other municipal communications people that I'll share the thing and be like, note as you're driving through town or wherever the map is, keep an eye out for people on the side of the road running or whatever. Just so people see.
It's Alzheimer's. We're gonna be walking real slow.
Yeah, walking.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will run.
Well, no, it's just a walk.
Okay.
It's just a walk.
Okay.
It's like the cancer walk.
Yeah. I've done it before.
People can run.
So
There was some people
Yeah,
running
there's
when I
always
did it.
somebody.
The only time somebody's been running is somebody's chasing them.
Right.
Get out of the road.
But and if the city wants to get a team together and walk, that would be good. And then we'll like have some water to give away and some stuff.
I'm still working on some of those donations. Betsy, do you have anything else?
I do not. I've been waiting until today to figure out everybody's feedback before I respond to that.
No, I think you go in 100%. We're excited. And try to give her some reason to believe we can make a decision.
Exactly.
But get the corn flour out and put a horse or cow in.
Did you send her the photos that I sent?
Do I?
Did you send her the couple photos I sent? Okay, good.
I even drew out based on Brenham's thing, you know, before this design came.
So-
And
like replace
yeah,
theirs?
and I sent her those magazines, the Caldwell magazine, the
Well, and
Wilson
you-
County magazine.
She may just have too much
Yeah,
to sit still and
I know.
do, because now she's ready to paint rather than draw.
right, yeah, right.
And we're just replacing those 2 photos in that flower, right? We're just replacing those 2 photos in the
flower.
big thing, the 2 on the left side and that flower, right? It's not like the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully she sounded like she would have a new design to me this week, but.
Oh, so she's already working on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
gotcha. I thought literally she was waiting on you to say, okay, what we want.
I just haven't responded to her last
Gotcha.
email yet because, you know, I'm gonna get y'all.
And
Kaisa's
done.
Price is done.
Kaisa's done, so, and I saw that they were moving stuff into that building. So
Right.
I'll stop by there if you have a chance when we see somebody in there and we can tell them, but it's Kaisa's building.
Yeah, I do have a question. The other day, ever so often, people will email Main Street and it goes to everybody.
I'm responding to those.
Okay, I never know if anybody's responding or not, and.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
how
responding
that's
to
being
them.
handled. Okay.
If you want to,
I responded to the last one and just said, you know.
To that lady moving in town?
Yeah.
oh, I did too. Okay, well, then she is feeling the love.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I think it's good. I mean, because like I was responding, and then when you started responding, then I.
right.
Can you see when we respond?
If you don't, you reply all, then you don't.
Right.
It should be in the sent email.
Oh, you haven't seen, okay, I'll do reply all. I kind of was torn between, well, I didn't think about the fact that nobody else knows I'm responding versus everyone's now trapped in this if she answers this again, you know, and then there's a thread with 50 of us, but, okay.
I keep meaning to ask that and forget.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
If somebody has a response, respond to all. I will start doing it correctly so that we can see, but I am generally responding to them, unless I ask Madeline specifically, like they ask a question that has some kind of answer that's not, that I don't know.
Yeah, then if I don't know the answer, I ask for it.
I would still like for us also to do some sort of like meeting with business and building owners downtown to let them know what we're doing, from what we would like to do at this point in front of their businesses or in front of their building.
Okay.
And just.
And get their feedback on what they would like us.
Because there's several people who are like,
I still don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we could do that in the fall now, because I think we have enough to talk about. I think we're kind of up on our feet. We know how to conduct that kind of meeting in terms of sharing and getting some input.
Yeah, I think that's
So,
a good topic to bring up when we start the design plan stuff. So like if you want to invite them to that.
we can do a business,
meeting.
yeah, a separate time. Okay, I'll work on some dates. I think that's it. We've sort of, those committee meetings have we tell everybody.
Yeah.
But if they don't, or aren't thinking about it because now they see them all the time, they're not thinking this could be about me.
Specifically invite someone to come specifically to a time and a place.
Yeah.
It's different than.
Yeah.
A room meeting.
Well, and actually to that point, because of the cemetery thing, made me think of it. I could do a little postcard. A separate real thing that says, come to this meeting, it is about you.
Yeah.
And we'd like to tell you and get your input and have, you know.
I just say, I think we need to let them know we want to hear from them, we want their input.
And it's,
in addition, instead of just, we want to tell you our plan.
Yeah, actually.
I am hearing from people, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Right.
When are we gonna know what's happening? I keep hearing about the plan and the this and the that, and they're like, what?
Yeah, what is coming? And when am I gonna have some impact?
Yeah, particularly some of the businesses, a couple of businesses there on Dock Street who are impacted by those planters that funnel water back underneath their building.
Right.
Yeah, the continuing saga of, if they could even see that there's.
That somebody's addressing it.
Yeah.
You know.
And a timeline that's reasonable instead of we're gonna get it done by the end of the year. I think that's a good
And
idea.
just to know that someone is addressing, we're trying to figure out what to do,
Yeah.
I think makes people, again, they've been heard.
Well, and they
feel
feel
like somebody's
included
looking
and,
into it. And
Well, like, I mean, the whole thing with the sidewalks, like, we had to go, before I started, like, that was something that she had asked about, but nothing was ever done about it. So, I'm, working on that piece, but like I said, all of these things.
But we're not updating Betty every month on it, so
No, but.
that's a perfect example of she specifically wants to know.
Yeah.
And so everyone else does, they're just not asking.
And
Us.
I know on the website, on the city website, the master plan is up there and things like that. But if we can show, all right, these are the projects we've adopted or working toward, there's a lot of money in this community. I mean, some people may decide to donate through friends to make this project happen faster.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I've got a meeting with Brazos Valley COG 2 weeks from now. They, at the national meeting, they were made aware of national funding that's available to communities that we may be able to partner with the COG to access funds for some of the improvement district stuff that we're contemplating. It's kind of chicken and egg because they're like, you can't get money until you tell us what you want to do, and we can't get a plan until we know how much money we want to spend, so. But Forrest and I talked about it once, but I'm going to go over and meet with this guy, Roger, to find out. Because Kevin came back from the national meeting and said, there's money, find out. And I was like, I'm thrilled, that'd be great. And that sounds